You trying to break a bad habit? Let's talk about it. I'm Nate. I'm your life coach. Shop at Ensorsale.com. Pick you up a cool inspirational t-shirt today. Use code FitfutureMD for 20% off. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with somebody that needs it. Now, the reason you should listen to me on this topic is because I have not smoked a cigarette or had alcohol in over 10 years, right? I broke those habits, right? They're two of the worst habits that you can have, the hardest ones to break, right? So why is breaking habits so hard? And the main reason that breaking a habit is so hard is because you have been programmed your entire life to do those habits, right? Studies show that even when people break the habit, that 50% have recurrence of the habit, right? What are those 50% of people missing? How have I been able to do it for over 10 years, right? So you have to understand what a habit is, right? A habit occurs on a cue, routine, reward loop, right? Cue, routine, reward. So the first step, if you've been programmed your entire life to do something, is the first step is you got to reprogram it, right? You have to work on your mindset. How do we work on our mindset? We do that with affirmations, right? So this was what I was telling myself when I was getting rid of these habits, right? I am not a smoker, I am not a drinker, and I am known to have a sober reputation, right? So along with my other affirmations, and then that one as well, right? If you are in need of affirmations, right? I give my affirmations away for free in the link below, right? They're 100% free. I don't even take your name for them. That's how important reprogramming your mind is to me, is that I completely give them away for free, and I'm not trying to get your name, address, email address, nothing to get it, right? Because this is what helped me be sober and clean for over 10 years, right? So that's what I told myself. I'm not a smoker, I'm not a drinker, and I'm not known to smoke or drink. I'm known to be sober, right? Second step, right, is to identify your cues. So for some people, it might be the recliner when you get home, right? Whether it be the color of it, the smell of it, whatever. It might be the sound of a door closing when you get home. Remove the door, throw the recliner out, right? Like I used to have this red recliner that was my grandmother's that we had inherited when she passed away. And when I saw that recliner, guess what? I was sitting in that recliner, I was drinking a beer, and I was smoking a cigarette. Guess what? We got rid of that recliner. And we got rid of the smoking, and we got rid of the drinking, right? So number one, I got rid of the cue. And that was only one of the cues. It's not like there's not several other cues. There can be many cues, right? Waking up and drinking coffee, sitting on the toilet first, whatever, sex. Sex was a good one for smoking cigarettes, right? Obviously, it's very difficult to give that one up. But, basically you're going to try to remove the cue, right? So, third, what is the routine after you get the cue, right? I walk to the fridge and grab a beer after I see the recliner, right? So, number one, we're going to make it difficult, right, to do that routine. Like, there's not going to be beer in the fridge. And if you do have beer, it's not going to be kept in the fridge. It's going to be hot, right? So not only you got your cue and you went to do your routine was off and the beer was hot, right? So you didn't get, so the third thing is the reward loop, right? The reward of the beer, right? Well, if that beer is hot and you force yourself to drink the beer hot, there's alcoholics out there though that would drink it hot too, but that's just one way to make it more difficult. Change your routine, right? And then I'm gonna change that routine to something else. So I walk to the fridge, there's no beer there. So I'm gonna walk to the garage instead and do push-ups. And the euphoric high you get from doing a crap ton of push-ups can be the reward for the routine instead of the beer, right? One other thing that you can do is either, well, number one, you tell your friends like, hey, I'm not drinking anymore, I'm not smoking anymore, I'm not going to bars anymore, whatever. And if they're like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, right, no way, then they're cut from your life, right? So for all those people out there that don't know why Nate disappeared on them, that's why. Because when I told you I'm quitting drinking, I'm quitting smoking, you either laughed or you didn't take it serious, or you ain't try to encourage it again, or whatever. You are all cut, period. And you'll be cut for the rest of my life because I don't need you, right? And that's how you have to see it too, because these people aren't your friends, right? People want you to be bad, want you to do bad things. They don't encourage you to be better and better yourself. Then they're not your friends, period, right? If they're not pushing you to be better, they're not your friends, right? And you'll notice that most people are trying to keep you down, right? So real friends will be few and far between, right? And you encourage and hold on to them and push them to be the best that they can be, right? So you just remove them just like you did the furniture, right? If the friend is the cue, oh, we're going to the bar, we're going to bingo tonight, like, oh, whatever, let's get our drink on. Like, no, we ain't doing that shit no more, because I'm not going to be known as somebody that's not sober, period, right? My reputation is going to be a good reputation, right? And that's for my affirmation that I do multiple times a day, right? And the fourth thing is, you hit the reward scenario, right? So, for instance, it takes 67 days to break a habit. So 67, average 67, so it could be longer, it could be shorter, but the average is 67 days. So you make your reward something that you could get every day, but if you mess up, you don't get that reward, right? So, for me, it was watching my favorite television show, Stargate SG-1. Another one that I added in there was Boy Meets World. The story is, I went to my in-laws' house, Meredith's mother's house, and all of a sudden the whole weekend I'm watching Boy Meets World. Well, guess what? We weren't drinking, we weren't smoking the whole weekend, so we got to watch our favorite TV show, Boy Meets World, right? And there was beer in the house, there was cigarettes in the house, right? So I'm sitting there resisting that the whole time. And, that was one of the things that was my reward. Like, oh, I resisted that, guess what? I get to watch Boy Meets World. This is one of my favorite shows as a kid, right? And I'd already gone through all of Stargate SG-1. But that's just an example, reward yourself, but you don't necessarily want to reward yourself with something that's going to be a negative, right? As well, right? So you don't want to be overtraining all the time. You don't want to be, you don't want to be eating ice cream instead or whatever, change it to Diet Coke or, stuff like that. You want it to be, something simple. You get to read your favorite book. You get to, your reward is something that's healthy and positive, right? Obviously, some people would say TV is not a good, healthy reward, but, You know, it worked for me. But honestly, like, either way, giving up smoking and drinking made me gain weight, right? So we ended up, you know, replacing some of it with candy or whatever, extra food, or you just had the hunger because you didn't have the nicotine. Same thing happened when I gave up coffee and caffeine, right? So, but eventually, after a long period of time, your body will set back to normal, and you won't have that hunger and stuff anymore, right? But this is how you break a habit, right? You identify the cue, you change the routine, and you reward yourself with something different, right? Like I say, figure out what that works for you. Oh, and you change your mindset with affirmations, right? So you change your mindset, you identify the cue, you change the routine, and you reward yourself with something different, right? So that's how I changed it. That's how I have been clean and sober for over 10 years. I hope this helps you become clean and sober. If you need life coaching, hit me up in the DM, comment down below, life coach, and we'll try to, you know, get together and, you know, hopefully I can help you overcome whatever you need to overcome. I'm Nate. I'm your life coach. Shop at Ensorsale.com. Pick you up a cool inspirational t-shirt today. Use code FitfutureMD for 20% off. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with somebody that needs it. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.